Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
I'll speak extemporaneous. This evening, just now, before coming here, we visited the Mutt, Krishna Mutt, which so many people, especially from all over Karnataka, from other parts of India, also visit. I'm planning to stay in Udupi for another 2 weeks or so and to visit the temple every day. It's only about, 7 minutes walk, 7-8 minutes walk, depending on how speedily you walk. By visiting the temple every day, you become attached to the form of the Lord. Of course, here we have Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev, so-called uninstalled deities, whatever that means. That's another whole topic. The ISKCON, modern ISKCON mythology of uninstalled deities. But Krishna is Krishna, whether he appears as Krishna in the temple of Madhvacharya established here, or so many devotees, they worship Shalagram, form of the Lord. So many forms. What's that? There's Archa, Vyuha, Antaryami, then Para, and one more. What is that? Archa, Vyuha, Para, Antaryami, and what's the end of the lecture? Vaibhav. Yeah, these are the 5 forms Ramanujacharya has mentioned. Archa is the Sri Vigraha, Antaryami, Paramatma. Vyuha is his expansions. And Vaibhav is avatars. And Para means the original form in the spiritual world. So these are various forms of the Lord. However the Lord appears, he is Krishna. So there's no difference between the Shalagram Shila worshipped by a simple devotee or newly installed form of the Lord and the form of the Lord who has been worshipped since time immemorial. He was since the time of Madhvacharya. That's, 800 years? 800 years. And then before that, he's worshipped by Devaki in Dwarka. Isn't that? Rukmini? That's when Krishna was away in Hastinapur. She would worship this form of the Lord, is it? She worshipped him as a young boy. And then somehow he ended up inside the Gopi Chandan, which comes from the Gopi Talab. And then he was worshipped by Madhvacharya. So, he's an anciently worshipped form of the Lord, which is non-different from newly established form, but still the ancient sites of worship, they're special. They have their own specialty. Especially this deity has been worshipped by such a great Acharya as Madhvacharya and by subsequent Acharyas. So, by worshipping or taking darshan of this form of the Lord, we also seek the blessings of these great devotees that we may also follow in the footsteps of such, of themselves, and attain the blessings that they came to this world to give. So this is a very nice temple, and the atmosphere there is maintained spiritual atmosphere. Some temples you go to, even they're important, but they're all run down and there's hardly anyone there. But this temple, there's always someone there. There's always some kind of part or parayan, or either officially or unofficially. There's always people coming in. So it's active. Prabhupada said temple means activities. There should be activities that attracts the public to come and participate in Krishna consciousness. So by regularly visiting a temple, then we become attached to that form of the Lord. And actually more so if you have to go a little distance, then there's a little effort involved. So if it's just a matter of just coming from one room to the other like here, then we may take it more for granted. But if you have to make a conscious effort to get up and go, and then it becomes more of an effort. And then, especially if you go in the cold, and there's not much cold ever here in Udupi, or the rain, if you still keep on going, then definitely attachment for the Lord develops, for that particular form of the Lord. It almost symbolizes the whole process of devotional service, that we have to make some effort to come into the presence of Krishna, and then Krishna reciprocates if we make that effort. So, what is that? Karo hare mandira marjana dishu pado hare kshetra padabhivandana. That one should use one's legs to go to the temple of the Lord, and one's hands. It was said about Ambarish Maharaj that he used his legs, abhigama, padaharo kshetra padabhigamanam. He used his legs to go to the temple of the Lord. And this is an example how to use the legs, all the senses to be engaged in Krishna's service. Yeah, and the arms, karo, the hands, for cleaning the temple. So by engaging like this, we, undergoing these simple processes, we attain attachment for the Lord. So, let's do it. Let's engage our senses in the service of the Lord and become attached to Him. There is, just like I was saying, if you have to go a little distance or make a little effort, in many ways that's more beneficial to devotional service, because familiarity breeds contempt. If we're staying in the temple, and every day, like I say, you go from the ashram to the temple room is 5 steps, and then we tend to take it very just as something normal. That tendency is there. If you have to make a little effort, then there's more bhakti is developed. That's why sometimes it seems like that the congregational members who make the effort, we see in many temples, they move close to the temple and they make the effort to come every morning for Mangalarti. There's no one going around getting them up, or they're not going to miss their prasadam in the morning. They're not going to be denied prasad if they don't have to. They're not going to come under any stricture if they don't go. But they're going enthusiastically because they want to. Just like recently in Vellore, we moved our preaching center from one part of the city to another, and so many of the congregation moved with it. They moved close by, and they come to Mangalarti. Kinchan Krishna is really into getting everyone to come to Mangalarti. So for them, in many ways, it's more effort and to get up, and they're coming out of enthusiasm. So they make spiritual advancement like that. Of course, in Vellore we also have some initiated devotees who are more senior than others who are preaching. Why are you punishing yourself? Why are you getting up early in the morning? Because they don't. So these things are going on. But still, for those devotees who make an effort in devotional service, then Krishna reciprocates. And for devotees living in the ashram, of course, I'm not saying that it's better to live outside, but for those in the ashram, it's easy to fall into complacency also, and then just in the ashram you become more interested in utilizing the facilities for eating and sleeping, and that's why the regulated life is there. We should at least follow this much. At least follow the minimum temple programs. I'm saying that, I'm not doing myself, but while I'm here, I'm writing. But as Srila Prabhupada once said about his own not going to Mangalati, Prabhupada was never seen in Mangalati. He said, I should also go, but at that time I'm writing, so in that case, because I'm doing that important service, he didn't go, although he insisted that everyone else go. He was very strict on that. So there are some thoughts, and Hare Krishna.